fuel efficiency. Fuel efficiency is all about maximizing the most miles you can per gallon, meaning the most fuel cost efficient. You want to have the most fuel cost efficient as possible, or also known as you want to have the bang for your buck as possible. It's a goal for every professional driver to reach. When you're driving your vehicle, you want to have the most miles you can by using the least amount of fuel per gallon. Now, that is the ultimate main key. And maintenance and driving habits play a major role as well when it comes to saving on fuel or fuel conservation or conserving. When it comes to vehicle maintenance, you need to have a set routine because that will help you conserve and preserve fuel as much as possible. And it can contribute to an overall fuel conservation program as well. Now, in section 396.3 in the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations, they state that you must have a system to inspect, repair, and maintain all vehicles that you are operating. So oil, fuel, and air filters should be changed accordingly to the vehicle manufacturer specifications because dirty filters can cause engine damage and can decrease fuel efficiency. That's why you do not want to have dirty filters. And then maintain proper fluid levels because low fluid level can actually lead to additional draw and having you to work on the engine for extra friction in the components. Also, therefore, it will reduce the fuel mileage of your vehicle. And then you want to check the fuel system to prevent leaks. So leaking fuel will actually lower your vehicle's overall mileage. So that's why it's important to constantly, frequently, and check. Make sure you have a system in place to routinely check your vehicles. Then the vehicle inspection. You want to identify and find any type of defects during the inspection by doing a routine of your vehicle. This is a preventative maintenance tool to help you conserve and save on fuel. And you can see parts 392 and parts 396 in the FMCSRs for specifics. But mainly, you want to look for leaking or dragging wheel bearings and dragging brakes. Then you want to check for damages or any aerodynamic components or parts and low tire inflation. When you're doing the inspection as well, correct simple issues because that can help easily improve efficiency. For example, properly inflated tires that are in good condition can actually drastically improve your vehicle mileage by 1 to 3%. That's why it's important to really prepare, do the safety inspection because it will save you time, energy, money. It will save the vehicle that you're operating or the vehicles that you own if you are a owner operator or if you're a motor carrier or if you are a business owner running the company. Now, the fuel efficiency, to have the best fuel efficiency possible, you have to have the best driving habits and behaviors as possible because driving habits and behaviors play a huge role, a huge part in vehicle efficiency. So some behaviors and habits that you can easily implement right away is starting the engine. If the vehicle engine does not start after 30 seconds of cranking, stop and wait a couple minutes before trying again because longer periods of cranking, if you are cranking the vehicle over a long period of time, that can waste fuel and can actually waste and damage the engine over time. So do not pump the accelerator, which is do not pump the foot pedal or rev the engine after it starts. So rev the engine is applying that foot pedal for the RPMs to actually go up and higher than it should be. So that's what they mean by rev the engine. Now, when it comes to accelerating and braking, you want to have a smooth and steady as possible. Make sure it's smooth and steady because it's best when it comes to acceleration. Because the faster acceleration or you apply the foot pedal, the more fuel the vehicle burns. That's why every time you accelerate, slow, and then re-accelerate, more fuel is burned. That's why you have to keep in mind that every time you accelerate, slow, and then re-accelerate, more fuel is burned. So making sure you are driving safely, but also preserving the fuel and the fuel efficiency of your vehicle as possible. Also, keep in mind, ease to a cruising speed by avoiding quick starts and stops. And then when it comes to progressive steering, that keeps the revolutions per minute or RPMs, it keeps it low and in low gears. And it increases the shifting RPMs as you actually work up through those gears, especially if you're driving a manual stick shift. And it also reduces equipment wear, it cuts down on vehicle noise, and it saves precious, valuable fuel. These are the common driving habits and behaviors that you want to adapt and apply immediately, right away. Now, the driving habits and behaviors does play a huge part in the vehicle's efficiency. Another thing to keep in mind is the speed. You want to maintain and keep an even speed by using cruise control to open highways and the flat terrain or flat land surfaces. So you want to set cruise control rate that actually allows for a steady, consistent speed. And then keep in mind that the faster speeds use more fuel. And studies have found that every miles per hour of additional speed, and it's over 55 miles per hour, it uses additional 2% in fuel when you are driving an additional speed over 55 miles an hour. Faster speed also increases the air resistance. So that causes the engine to work harder at higher speeds. Then you have the weight. You want to keep the vehicle weight to a minimum for the best fuel efficiency possible. Now, that's not always necessarily going to happen, but you always want to try to keep the weight at a minimum as possible to save on fuel efficiency, to save on fuel. Then don't keep unnecessary items in your vehicle. So that will include equipment or tools that you don't use or need. And additional weight can actually reduce your fuel efficiency as well. And then aerodynamics. First, aerodynamics is the study of properties of moving air and the relationship between air and solid objects moving and flowing through it or around it. So aerodynamics, you want to avoid attaching items to the vehicle that can actually reduce the aerodynamic performance. So the larger the object, the greater the reduction. So you want to consider aerodynamics when you're loading flatbed trailers, and that's items attached to the vehicle that can lower your fuel efficiency. So flatbed trailers is common when you're talking about aerodynamics, but it can also be other commercial motor vehicles as well. Hey, BET Trainer here. Listen, if you really had true value out of this video, go ahead and click that like button and share some honest comments about this video, because this is going to help other people as well see the video and get the value information, so that way they can be inspired by what you're doing right now as well. So also, if you want to get the latest updates, go ahead and click the subscribe button, so then you can be able to always be updated on the next instant video that will be put out. So again, go ahead and do that. And this video was sponsored by BET Life Services and CDL for Life.